Hi y'all, I'm Chris, and today we're going to try to build a neuron in Minecraft. Now, I'm not really sure where to start with the explanation for this, because people have built neural networks in Minecraft before, and that's not what we're trying to build here. Neural networks were based on neurons, but they don't do a lot of things that a human neuron does. So, like, they don't have refractory periods, they don't have chemical gradients, the neurons don't operate kind of independently of each other. It's kind of usually a straight feed forward or maybe just a simple loop where all the neurons do their computations timed together. Real neurons are a lot weirder and a lot messier, so we're going to take a shot at building it. So this here is my first thought, is that neurons have to charge up and then based on input they get from other neurons. So I'm not even sure where to... I don't want to go back into like super technical biology for this, but okay, so neurons have like a big bulb and that's like their main body, but then they have lots of little stringy things coming out of it, usually just one main one called an axon. And they can, well, what's called fire, where they actually charge up electrochemically. And when they get past a certain threshold, they shoot out an electrochemical pulse down that axon, and that can travel into other neurons, charging those up and causing them to fire in a chain reaction. And that big soup of firing and electrochemical signals is what thinking and your brain function is. So first of all, we're going to need a way to charge and decharge something. So my thought for how to do that was to use comparators, because, you know, if we turn this thing on, it'll slowly decharge. So that kind of gives us, you know, a little bit more wiggle room than just the on-off that we might work with if we were just doing repeaters or torches. Okay, so now the first question is, we need some way for a signal to come into this thing and not power it up all the way, but just kind of like blip it up, and then maybe it slowly sinks down. So what I'm going to try is... What am I going to try? So how do you do addition? You can subtract negatives. Both these signals are being subtracted from the torch's power. So right here we have what's coming out of this comparator is torch minus A minus B. So here's the trick we do. Put this into another comparator. Give it full strength. That should do it. So, okay, bear with me here. Coming out of this comparator is torch minus, and then in, like, imagine in parentheses, torch minus A minus B. You work all that out, the torches or whatever, I'm not even doing math right, cancel out, and you just get A plus B. So, okay, this is how you can do addition of signals with comparators. We feed this signal. Do we want to do? Oh, okay. This could go somewhere. Torch there. Yeah, okay. Okay. I think this is exactly what we want. So we have the same loop where it kind of cools down, but because both of these are in subtract mode, we can put in a signal. Say like that. Oh, but this will only ever raise the signal up to that strength. Okay. Turn this down low. Oh, okay, we got it. It was super simple. Great, so this, when we destroy this block, it cools down. And when we put the block back in, it'll charge up. This is perfect. That's just how we want to mimic like the electro gradient across the membrane of a neuron's like main cell body. Science. Okay, so now we can simulate a bunch of incoming signals. Why didn't this looks super similar to what I had here? What was going wrong? Oh, wait, no. Did I have it earlier? Oh, okay. Well, I guess we figured it out earlier. Okay, so we got a way to send signals into one of these neurons. But now we want a firing mechanism. So when this thing charges up all the way, we want it to drop down to 0. So that enters a refractory period. And then to send a signal out somehow. Okay, so let's try actually using a comparator in comparison mode. So we can put our comparator here. Oh, actually, I think subtract will work better for this. Okay, so we will destroy this. Yeah, I think this will work. So that torch will turn on when it fully charges up. Put this in here, charges up, and there we go. Once this strength is, I don't think it's fully charged in like a redstone signal sense, because I think a fully charged, or a cake makes a comparator output 1 less signal strength than a torch would. Something like that. But as long as we use cakes for everything, the math will still work out just fine. Okay, that's looking good. And now we want to use this torch to reset this thing. Suppose what we actually could do is, okay, so put some dust there, this here, grab a standard repeater. Oh yeah, that works perfectly. So look at that, charges up, fires. Yeah, okay, that works. There we go. This is our neuron. It's cool, it actually kind of looks like a neuron. So this would be like an input dendron, or however the heck that works. This is where incoming axons attach, and this is like the main cell body. Okay, super cool. Now what we can try to do is start to hook some of these together. Although we need some way to make the input a consistent pulse length. How do we want to do this? We do 3 ticks. That worked. I'm gonna try to do like super low cake. How does that work? Yeah, that seems like exactly what we want there. Yeah, I think I have 4 of them all wired in a loop here. So it should be like the most basic, just kind of neural circuit that keeps running. To start it off, we should be able to just... Okay. Something's going on. On 3. Okay, this all looks correct. Oh, I forgot to put... Shh. Okay. Subtract mode. Subtract mode. Okay, now it should work. Super cool. Okay, so at this point, we've pretty much just built a glorified redstone repeater. It wouldn't surprise me if someone's built a simulated neuron too. But I couldn't find it just because of all like the modern AI neural networks that I found on YouTube when I tried to search it up. Super cool. Okay, now we gotta do something a little more challenging. Okay, I want to try to make a circuit now that actually uses like the neuron-y charging up uh, mechanics of this thing. So we have here, it's another neuron, but it has two inputs, and I've eaten a slice of each cake, which reduces the redstone signal that comes out of these comparators. So now, each input line by itself cannot cannot make the neuron fire. It's not a strong enough connection. However, if both inputs fire one after the other in close succession, the neuron does fire. And that's because the signals are adding together, and because they're firing close after each other, the neuron doesn't have enough time to charge down all the way before the second signal hits. Now we have 3 of these neurons with the same setup where none of them are strong enough. Now that I've done that, none of them are, oh my goodness. Each input line by itself can't turn on any of them. Both input lines need to turn on close after each other. So what we're going to do is wire each of these into the other 2. And that should, I thought of the dumbest thing, that then we'll basically have my own brain. It's 3 cells. I kind of want to title this video, Man Makes His Own Brain in Minecraft. They're all hooked up. So now we need a way to start it. And it might be a bit tricky, it might be easy. Do we do this? So if I click here, oh my gosh, it started. Huh. Wow. Let's put some lights on this so we can see exactly what's going on. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. It's flip-flopping back and forth between the 2 on the left, the one on the right. Okay, so they both turn on at the same time and they power up each other. And then, but that's not enough to make them fire, but because they're both plugged into the 3rd one, then the 3rd one fires and completes the charge on the first 2. Okay, that makes sense. So we can stop this by just disconnecting one of them. Yeah, okay. It stopped. Now what I want to try to do is start it in a different pattern where it's like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh, I think we got it. Hey, check that out. That's super cool. This is what I was imagining it was going to do the first time. Super cool. So yeah, left one fires, and that fully completes the charge in the one on the middle, but only partially charges the one on the right. But then, because the one in the middle is now fully charged, it fires and completes the charge of the one on the right, and partially charges the one on the left, which has just finished its refractory period. That's so cool. This is really funny, though. Super cool, and the first one we have is still going. Very nice. Alright, I'm content with that for a video, guys. That's super cool.